It has a number of missions, of course, but the mission, well, and I believe it should have a number of missions, but one of the missions that I think has been added and should long ago have been added is the mission to protect the civilian population. It's, if you will, a policing mission. It's a security mission. I don't know how you rebuild a country if you have a major portion of a city known as the red zone. That almost by definition says we have failed. That says we have established a setting where people are unsafe, and I don't know how you can build jobs, how you can build lives, if there's a major section of a city, if virtually all the city, other than a tiny section, is in the red zone. And so the decision taken by the president and by Prime Minister al-Maliki to say we're going to now police the city and Al-Anbar province. We're going to try and bring stability and security in the city. That I think is essential. I think my own view is that should have been part of the mission from the very beginning, but it wasn't. And we learned from experience, but that should have been part of the mission. There are some who say it's too late now. There's too much anger. There's too much hatred. We can't put the genie back in the bottle. I don't know that yet. We'll see whether that's the case or not. But as long as I believe there's a reasonable prospect of keeping the central government together and a central military, then that's a course which has less risk for America than just saying, hey, let's get out and let the whole thing potentially erupt in a massive civil war, potentially becoming a regional conflict, and the various scenarios. It's very hard. I mean, you do something of this nature, and the potential consequences are enormous. And because of those risks, I'd say, given the prospects right now, pursue this strategy unless you become convinced that there's really no significant prospect it can work.
Do you think the number of troops there now are adequate to do the job?
My view was that the troop surge should have probably included about 30,000 additional troops, and I think the number is that the president has selected is about 25,000, and so I mean, he upped it from 20 to 25. I'm not sure that anyone's enough of a military pinpoint strategist to know whether the right number is 25 or 30 or 35 or 20. But I would anticipate that General Petraeus will have a pretty good sense of that pretty quickly. It is clearly in all of our interest to get our troops home as soon as possible, but not to do so in such a way that a massive civilian crisis occurs, or that a regional conflict ensues that could have far-reaching implications for our nation and our interests.